Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Travel Tips with Neil Patil. Today we are going to talk about Vietnam. So recently, Vietjet, one of Vietnam's most popular airlines, started flights to the Vietnamese cities of Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi and Phu Quoc from New Delhi and Mumbai. Fares have been super low and the flights are going super full. Vietnam has well and truly arrived for the Indian traveller, and it is now on the bucket list of every traveller. Heta and I also had the chance to fly Vietjet recently when we were going to Bali, and we flew via Ho Chi Minh City. And as we speak, Vietjet has also announced direct flights to Danang from Mumbai and Delhi. This means that Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, Danang and Phu Quoc are well and truly connected with direct flights from Mumbai and Delhi. With all of this, I've been getting many requests asking for tips and itineraries for Vietnam. Now when it comes to the itinerary, I leave it to the expert product planners at Vina World. But when it comes to the food list, well, this episode is going to be all you're going to need when it comes to what to eat in Vietnam. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Number 1, pho. One of the most popular dishes in Vietnam. The word pho refers to a type of noodle that is used in this recipe. This is a broth-based noodle soup with a squeeze of lemon and many slices of bird's eye chili, bean sprouts, basil and mint. This is often a popular beef dish, but you can also have the chicken version, pork version and also a vegetarian version. So this should definitely be first on your list, and the secret about a good bowl of pho lies in the stock itself. Then number 2 on the list is banh mi, my favorite dish from my 15-day holiday there many years ago, and I literally had it every day. This is basically a Vietnamese baguette sandwich, and baguette of course is because of the French influence in Vietnam. Again, this can be chicken or pork fillings that are a favorite here, but you can try and request them to make a veg one too. But also a tip here, we were recently at Ho Chi Minh Airport and you would not find a veg banh mi anywhere in the airport. So we tried while in transit for Heta, but we were super unsuccessful. Now number 3 on the list is something known as the goi quan, which is basically Vietnamese spring rolls. These are made from transparent thin rice paper and are filled with prawns, cold vermicelli, basil and carrots. And also, for an experience, at some places you can even make your own spring rolls. They just get you the ingredients and you can just enjoy making your own spring rolls. Then there is a dessert which is known as che, which is a pudding style dessert with jelly and fruits. Fruits can be bananas, mangoes, longan and are usually doused in coconut cream. This can either be served hot or cold. Then there is a rice dish which is known as the com tam, which is a broken rice dish served with a fried egg and is paired with caramelized grilled pork chop or prawn. And finally, for the garnish, this dish is showered with a mixture of chili, fish sauce and sugar. Now number 6 on the list is something which the late Anthony Bourdain called the greatest soup in the world. This is the bun bo hue. This is from a city of Vietnam which is just near Da Nang or Hoi An, which is known as hue. This is a red broth beef soup, but there are also often ham sausages that you can find in here. Then there is another dish that you will find mainly in Hoi An, which is known as the khao lao. This is a bowl of noodles which you can call a fusion of Japanese, Chinese and Vietnamese influences. This includes slices of Chinese barbecued pork, thick noodles and a very spice-laden broth and topped with fresh herbs and crushed pork crackling. So as you can see, we've discussed 7 dishes, but pork and noodles and soup feature in many of the dishes in Vietnam. Now number 8 on the list is something which is known as the com ga, or I call it the yellow rice combination, which is shredded chicken mixed with fish sauce and onion, and the yellow in this dish is the turmeric rice that comes along with it. Then number 9 is something known as the ban zeo. You'll find this at many bakeries or many stalls on the streets of Vietnam. This is a crispy crepe where the batter is traditionally made from rice flour and coconut milk and is filled with slices of boiled pork, minced pork, bean sprouts and shrimp. Then number 10 on the list is a dish that is known as the bun cha. Now President Obama and Anthony Bourdain were seen having this, and overnight it became super famous. This is grilled pork with an additional serving of minced pork. Then there's vermicelli and fresh herbs that create this lovely combination that is the bun cha. Then there's another ban on the list, which is number 11 on the list, ban beo. This is a small serving, and in Vietnam generally where you're finding soup bowls or big servings, this dish does stand out. This is a small serving of mung bean paste and toasted shrimps, which are served with a crunchy fried pork fat, which seems more like a papad if you were comparing it to Indian cuisine. Then number 12 on the list is something that is a fish dish. It's the cha ka, which is chunks of white fish blended with turmeric, and this yellow fish is served with dill and green onion. This can be had best with a bowl of steamed rice. Now finally, coming to number 13 is something known as the gatan, which is a chicken soup. But let me tell you, this is no ordinary chicken soup. This has an interesting dark broth which makes the flavor very unique and definitely worth trying. Now to end the episode, I would like to talk about two more things. One is Vietnamese coffee. Vietnamese coffee is very unique in itself, and there are two things that I would like you to try. One is the iced coffee and the other one is the egg coffee. Now the egg coffee, as the name suggests, has egg flavors in it and is definitely worth trying. But the iced coffee is something that you will find yourself having every day because it's basically coffee, milk and a lot of Minute Maid or just custard along with the coffee. And the second thing that I want to talk about is beer. Speaking of drinks, beer is a massive part of the culture of Vietnam. As you go about Vietnam, you will find many local brands and make sure you taste each and every one of them. And one final tip before we end the episode is that when you're in Hanoi, you can go to a street which is the Ta Hien Street in the Old Quarter. And over here, go to the beer corner. In the evenings, this becomes mini Oktoberfest, where you can sit on small stools and enjoy the local beer of Vietnam. So these were some of the things that you should definitely have on your food list when you go to Vietnam. There is the pho, there's banh mi, there's the goi quan, there's che, there's com tam, there's the ban bo hue, there's cao lao, there's com ga, there's ban zeo, there's ban cha, there's ban beo, there's cha ka, and finally there's gatan. Thank you for listening to 5-Minute Travel Tips with Veena World. I'm Neil Patil signing off. Have a super trip to Vietnam and have the bestest time.